I just wanted to start by thanking you, Tiffany, for taking the time to chat with us here at The Christian Beat, all about your upcoming solo project.
Yes. Oh, what an honor. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So the project is called Hidden Here. I know there's also a track on the project called that. So I'm just curious, kind of, if the track is what inspired the title, if the title inspired the track, like which way did it go for this?
That's a good question. Honestly, this project was nameless for a long time because I couldn't figure out what really made sense to encapsulate the entire project. It was actually my sister that said, "What if you called it Hidden Here?" And just slight backstory is I've always just loved Psalm 91 about being hidden in the shadow of his wings, and kind of a lot of these songs touch on those themes of what it means to truly live for the Lord and be hidden in him. And yeah, so that's kind of where it comes from.
That's awesome. And I'm also curious, the cover art also has imagery associated with it. I'm just curious how that speaks to the project for yourself as well.
Absolutely. My husband shot this photo. It was so sweet. We actually got into our little studio and we set up an altar. We lit candles and we just had the sweetest time, like in the presence of God. And again, that's where I met the Lord, was at an altar at my parents' church. And so for my first project, I really wanted to go back to that place of this is the most foundational memories I have with the Lord, the most special moments I've had with the Lord, was being hidden at the altar and meeting him and longing for him and all of that. And so we built this little altar and lit candles, and that's kind of where we shot it. For me, it's just so meaningful of going back to my childhood and the things that the Lord taught me from such a young age, and just getting to have that be reflected in my first kind of offering is such an honor for me.
Absolutely. And I know that you're not new to music, you're not new to songwriting, but this is your debut solo piece. So I'm just curious, when did you get the nudge, or when did you know that this was kind of the next direction or the right path for you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I love being a part of Elevation Worship and that team, still am, and still love being part of it. But it was early 2022 whenever I felt like the Lord had started to invite me into this process of writing. And it was kind of for an unknown thing. It wasn't write specifically for a project, but it was just explore some of these themes and ideas that the Lord had put on my heart. I never had ambition to do anything solo. I just love being a part of a team and just never felt like I had what it took to say anything on my own, to be honest. And felt like the Lord had really just led me into this season of writing and put tons of themes on my heart. And I got to just start to explore what that looked like, and felt like along the way, the Lord just kind of brought me into this idea of releasing these songs. They didn't feel as congregational as maybe what we'd sing on a Sunday morning at church. So they felt different. They felt more specific to something I would want to say. And so I'm really, really grateful to my church, to our leaders that really gave me the green light to be able to explore this, and so grateful to get to release this.
No, for sure. And I was actually curious kind of if there was a difference for you in writing these versus writing, other group or other songs that you write. If you felt something different writing these, or if you kind of attacked these in a different way.
Yeah, no, I would say it for sure. The whole process felt so different. So grateful to be a part of writing some of the songs for our church and for our youth ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they do have a different feel. We're writing for the people of our church, and we're saying what do we need to sing to the Lord on a Sunday after a crazy week? What's the faith declaration that we need? And I absolutely love all that. For this project, I felt there was just a few different specific themes that I felt like the Lord just kind of handed me to just write a little piece on. And a song like I'll Be Ready, that is literally saying, Jesus, I'm going to be ready for when you return, writing on the return of Jesus. And a lot more devotional, personal kind of songs things I would want to say to the Lord, and things that I've filled journals with of saying to the Lord, now putting them into song and really like, yeah, giving that kind of like personal worship to the Lord, like daily. It's like, what does it mean to like live a life of worship, not just on a Sunday, but on Monday and on Tuesday when I'm in my car driving, and on Wednesday when I'm spending time with him in the morning. Like, what does my actual devotion to the Lord look like? And that's kind of where a lot of these songs stemmed from for me.
That's awesome. And I know you've pre-released a handful and kind of sent those out. Has there been any response that kind of surprised you, or you weren't necessarily expecting to hear back once those came out?
I feel so incredibly supported. Like, there wasn't a measuring stick of like, well, this is how we hope these songs are going to do, because it's the first one we've ever released. So that in and of itself was really sweet, just to release it and just say, okay, Lord, do what you want to do, but I feel like this is what you call me to do, so let's just release it. And I've felt incredibly supported and celebrated by just feel like it's been received by people, and that in and of itself as well is such a blessing of like, even if it was to the Lord and it blessed a few people, that's worth it. But if it really does make itself into people's hearts and homes, like, man, what a humbling honor. So I feel like it has been received pretty well.
That's awesome. I'm curious, for the tracks you haven't released yet, or even a lyric on some of those, is there one that you kind of feel it needs to be most heard in this moment? I know they've all probably been relatively new written over the last little bit, but curious if there's one that's been most on your heart recently.
Ah, it's a tough question. I feel like it's probably similar to how parents feel about their kids of like, no, I love them all. I can't pick one. But yeah, all the songs, of course, have a place in my heart and are meaningful. I feel like week to week, maybe it would change the one I feel that is most on my heart. But there's a song called Break the Bottle that I got to write with Stephanie Gressinger, and she got to sing on it as well. And um, it's so meaningful. To The bridge simply says, pour me out like water, pour me out like oil. There's not another so worthy of it all. And I feel like that is just like the posture that I want this project to carry, and kind of the heart of like, God, like all of this is for you. Like, I am an offering that just wants to be broken before you, because you're so worthy. And so I would say that song is really, really special. And I pray that the listener is just so reminded of how worthy Jesus is of everything as they're listening. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that recently you also released a New York City sessions video for Obey. Just do you want to talk a little bit about that opportunity, and kind of how else you're planning to continue the conversation of this music that you're releasing?
Yeah, well, we did a few days in New York, and actually for every song we have another little live video for. And um yeah, I think we'll just plan to kind of release them as we go, and just different versions, different um expressions of these same songs are super sweet. And so yeah, I mean, that's what we're planning. We're just going to release it, see what the Lord wants to do, and as we go, just keep releasing little versions and pray that they bless people.
That's awesome. I know we're getting close to time, so I do want to be respectful of that. But I do want to know, just ask about the Elevation Nights tour. I mean, you have
Yes.
the group a few times. I know you'll be out, this summer, this fall with that. Just curious, what are you most looking forward to those nights? Are you any song in particular you're looking forward to singing? Those types of things.
Man, these nights are so special. Like, they just feel like you could walk in so discouraged and so like empty of all the things in life that have been hard. And I promise you, you come, you will be so filled with faith to the brim of like, all night long, we're singing faith. We're singing these declarations like, Jireh, you are enough. That's always a beautiful night. We sing resurrecting, like, by your spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. Like, all night long we are singing these declarations, and I feel like it's impossible to leave without a little bit more faith. And so yeah, we're actually here on the summer run right now. We're in Savannah, Georgia, and we'll be
Mhm.
back out this fall in October to Texas and Florida and cities there. So if there's a city near you, please come worship with us. It's such a joy to get to come together with, an arena full of people that is there to encounter the Lord and to literally praise him. And we just all leave so changed by his presence. So it's beautiful.
That's awesome. I just want to thank you again, Tiffany, for taking the time to chat and get to hear a little bit more about the heart you have behind this music.
Thank you so much. I so enjoyed talking with you, Jesse. Thank you.